That's okay. I find him. It probably is my internet. His name is Jonathan. We have met, and I have met him for the Network Educate invite. And I had a lovely chat with him and finding out what he does. And I'm like, wow, that is so cool because he has been known as the human lie detector. And so without further ado, I would allow me to introduce Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you so much for being on my Facebook Live today.
Sure. Thank you, Martha, for having me, and greetings for all the people who are seeing us right now on Facebook.
Yes. So please do tell us a little bit more about you because I find you so interesting.
Yeah, sure. I'm a human lie detector, a certified body language master. I'm also a TEDx speaker, a public speaker, as well as a regular guest on a TV show analyzing mainly politicians' body language and telling people what they are really seeing and why they have this gut feeling that they have when they hear politicians and see them on TV. And yeah, I am I work with people to coach them as well to project the best body language possible from their own code, their own body language, their own thoughts, and their own way of expression. And yeah, it's been a great journey so far, and I'm looking forward or my next milestone. So yeah, this is in a nutshell.
That is amazing. I just find what you do so fascinating. I know that you have your own TV show as well, finding your way to actually understand politician. And we all know a politician, they may be some of the hardest people to read. And I'm so grateful that you are here to share with us some of the things that we can look at what are some of the characters that we can look out for dishonesty when we're talking to someone?
Yeah, so you might want to go to first to look at the face and then on the body, because you will be getting those cues, those emotional cues from their faces, especially from the eyes. Of course, some people are really good at acting and not getting the genuine expression out, but with some sort of training, you will be able to do that, to decipher what's wrong, what's right. So let's say somebody is saying, I really like you, with their head shaking no. So would you believe the words or do you believe the body language? Especially if you baseline them, meaning that you know that, let's say, when they tell the truth, when they tell something is affirmative, they nod yes. And when they say something negative or no, they shake their heads no. So this is their baseline. Great, very good. So later on, they said, yeah, I like you, or yeah, I like my company, or something like that. Why shaking their heads? It's like, first, statistically, it's not true. And second, according to their baseline, it's not true. So it's not about like they might like the idea of the company. They might like some sort of an aspect in their job. But when you go in detail, so why don't you like your company? No, I like my company. But when you go in detail, it can be that they don't like their manager, or they don't like the product, or something about their job that they don't like. So it's really important to know what's behind that, in order to know, not just to judge the person, say, oh, you lied or something. Like, no, it's like to let the other person know about themselves, so that they don't deceive themselves, and they know that, okay, so I have this aspect is getting 90% of my attention when I speak about my company. So how can I solve that? So you want to go to the next step, which is to extract the truth, as well as help the other individual to regulate and how they want to work with the problem in order to make it a better way for them to live and eventually to sustain their being in their company.
I see, I see. So, what are some of the things that we can also look at about people's like beside their like shaking their head? What are some of the tips that we can actually know?
Sure. So we have something else with the shoulders. So let's say I'm saying something affirmative and everything is good and my shoulders are steady and nothing's happening. But later on, I'm saying, yeah, something is affirmative. I did that or I've done that. At the same time, my shoulder will have this little like slight move, a shoulder, it's like a shoulder shrug which indicates that I have negative emotions. So
Mm,
it might be that I don't know, which is neutral. I don't know with the shoulder shrug, or I don't care with a contemptuous attitude, maybe.
mm,
And the third option can be that I disagree, I disagree with what I am saying, or I disagree with what the other person is saying, which means that I can know if the other person is like having a good time with me or agrees with the idea or ideas that I am articulating. So without me having to listen to their words, I should be attentive enough to know what are their true emotions and true feedback about what I am saying. So this is something that we can spot also on Zoom or on video calls as well. Some other things like in hands, if I have like my hands open like this, that's good. If I have like an extreme case of expression like this, that means that I have like guilty feelings and I might be hiding something and it's like doing the exact opposite so that others may perceive me as an honest person because a liar knows that an open hands gesture, it can portray that the person is having an open-minded or he's open and not hiding anything. And the opposite of that is also true because if I have my arms open and on one specific topic or on one idea, my hand goes inside, like it's an inward rotation, it is an indication that the person is hiding something. And they used to hide weapons in this area. So having like an open hand, it means subconsciously that I don't have weapons hidden. I don't have a hidden agenda. I am honest. I am clear about what I am saying. So it's good. It's good to know these little things as well as like slight rotations in the torso. So let's say somebody is saying something, and just after that or before that, their body will shift like this from the
mm,
hip or with the face, with all the projection of their faces. So it
mm,
means that a part of them would like to escape.
mm,
Why? Because they are not comfortable with the statement that they have just said.
mm,
It could be that the person is having a problem with the consequences of the things that he is saying, either because it was a lie or it was a statement that was really, let's say, bold, and it can trigger some kind of negative reaction, and he might be afraid because he doesn't have or she doesn't have the courage to confront the consequences.
yes.
So yeah, it's not like we just get one sign. It's also
Mm,
important to see all the signs from the face, with the body language, what's happening in the body language, as well as the voice of the individual. So having this baselining going on from the very beginning is so important, and to let the other person actually trust us by giving them like something to drink or
mm,
asking them about a pleasant memory that they had, or what did you have, like what did you eat in the morning, or something like that, just to make that that body language baseline to have like a relaxed baseline, so that we know how they articulate the truth. Also, it's important to ask them questions that we know the answer about, because we also need to know how they lie in our
Mm,
baselining. So, knowing how people lie is really important, because it's not like we are not just relying on their body language from a statistical perspective. We are
mm,
relying on their own body language because it's their own body language code. It's the way they lie. It's their own way of lying. And in the lie detection course, let's say I give people all the variations with everyone, all liars throughout many years, like
mm,
60 or 70 years.
mm,
Now it's been great because experts like can really know if somebody is lying by just like clustering these signs and analyzing them with the words that the person is saying. And
mm,
if the words and the body language are like in tune or aligned,
mm,
so the person will be telling the truth. But if there is some sort of like discrepancies or like incongruent behavior with the words, it means that there's something wrong. It can be something related to the context. Let's say
mm,
I need to go somewhere else. So I am anxious. It's not because I am lying, it's just because I need to go somewhere else. So, me
ah,
as an interviewer or somebody who is like a good communicator would be more prone to ask questions and let the other person be comfortable, because this is the way to go with especially timid people and people who are like more agreeable. They don't like to speak their mind, and they are afraid not to hurt others with the truth that they it's from their own perspective. So it's really important with this kind of people, because this kind of people, they lie for different reasons. They
mm,
lie the polite lies, or like because they don't want to seem rude or something like
yeah,
that. So
definitely.
yeah, making them more comfortable is the right way to go communicating with them, because we also need the truth. We need feedback. It's not that we are like we are just in our minds and we don't want anything, because that's a not a successful way to communicate, and eventually it's not having your map of reality in tune with the
Mm,
reality. So having feedback and honest feedback in relationships, whether it was in family or in with friends or with business and negotiation, everything. So let's say with salespeople, it's like I'm talking as a salesperson about myself, about my company, and so on. And while I am talking about myself, the prospect or client flashes a micro expression of contempt, let's say. So, first, I should be able to spot that to begin with. And
mm,
second, I should be able to ask a question or a follow up question on what was that, but in a good way. So, I won't be saying, "Oh, Mr. Prospect, you flashed a micro expression of contempt. So, what about that?" So, no, that's not the way to go. It's just asking questions to get feedback about what I was saying. So, do
mm,
you have any questions, sir? And it's really important to know that I am saying what I should say, like in highlighting my ethos, highlighting the good argumentations, highlighting the emotional part, and so on, so that when it comes to feedback, it's not that I did something wrong. It's because maybe they have like a problem or something like that. So I should be able to know what's about them. And yeah, it's so important to know that my words actually trigger emotions. So it's not
Yes.
just body language, it's also the words. Because if I am saying like some type of like words who can trigger negative emotions and
Yes.
have like a negative load, it I will get this negative feedback, and I will say, oh, I
Yeah.
didn't say anything wrong, or but yeah, I did say something that initiated a negative feedback. So
Mm.
so that process is really important to master, and it can be mastered through training and through exercises, and to train our eyes to really observe what's really going on.
That is great because I can, now that I'm actually listening to you, I know that we can use it for work, we can use it for relationship, we can use it for friends and family, just to getting that more understanding of the people around us, not to profile them in a particular negative way, but to also learn about them and understanding if our communication is actually correct. How many times have I heard a lady actually say, I cannot communicate with my partner, or a male who said that they just cannot understand women. And I believe that by understanding our language, our facial expression, our behavior, we can get more of an insight of what the other people were really saying. Just simple as a lady, I would say nothing is happening. You can hear from my tone that's not the case, but we will often say nothing is happening, everything is fine. But we have that frustration and things like that in our tone and our voice as well. So I guess that will really be helping our audience here today to understand what can help us in our business, in our life, in our relationship, to give us that little bit of extra tools for us to make our life a little bit easier. And Jonathan, how do people actually reach you? And I heard that you've got a course that is coming up very soon.
Yes, indeed. So people can reach me on Facebook, on Instagram, or on LinkedIn. So they can contact me via email. So
Mhm.
Jonathan at humansdecoded.club, or
Mhm.
just to go on humansdecoded.club slash contact us, and they can send us a message. And in the upcoming workshop, it will be like the level 1 basics about lie detection and body language. I will be extracting everything related to lie detection from the body language world. So, what is the body language of liars, and how you can get to know? It's like in 14 hours, you can get a lot of information about just body language with lying, and you can use it in your sales presentation. You can use it in negotiation with your friends, with your family members. And I repeat, it's not about judging people, it's about helping yourself and others to extract the truth and have an authentic relationship, a long lasting relationship. So, yeah, it will be coming on Wednesday, December the 1st, next Wednesday. And people can get more information on the website, and they can contact me directly via a message or a phone call.
Wonderful. I am going to put your website and contact in the comments later. Thank you so much for coming on today. I know that you are actually coming from Lebanon as well, so it's very early for you to actually come on my live today. And I'm grateful for you for giving us your time, your knowledge, and your sharing to all our audience here today. So thank you, Jonathan.
Sure, thank you so much.
So thank you again, audience. Thank you for joining me again, once again, on the problem solving regarding. And I hope to look forward to see you next time on the next episode to find out what we can solve on problem solving regarding. Thank you.